25 SEC Baseball Tournament Championship postgame press conference. We're joined by the SEC Tournament champions, the Vanderbilt Commodores, represented by head coach Tim Corbin, along with shortstop Jonathan Bastine and center fielder R.J. Austin, who was named to the All-Tournament team. In a moment, we'll get an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions directed to the players first, please. Please wait for the microphones and identify yourself when asking a question. Coach, if you can give an opening statement.
Well, I think first off, just congratulations to Ole Miss on the season they've had. A very good team. When we were there in Oxford, I left that series thinking that pitching is very, very potent and good. So they certainly can go a long way in this deal for sure. They're very offensive as well, which kind of makes our situation very positive because the young man on the mound who pitched for us had a tough outing last week. I felt like, and I don't think I'm alone at all, that he would bounce back in what is, kind of a tough situation. You had two freshmen out there today that were throwing very well, but Austin and I was very good for us. He had a good face. He was delivering with the pitches. We played good defense behind him, two double plays that were game-changing. So just a little bit different game than what we had played, but we needed it because that was a high-temperature game. And Sawyer got the last out, which is all that matters, and he did a nice job. But between him and Luke and Huseman coming in and getting a double play, it's the fourth time he's done that this year where he's come in the game and gotten a double play and gotten us out of it. So he's been very opportunistic. But I'm happy for the kids. I think that's why you do this. It's just to see them reach an accomplishment. There's more to come, but just reach an accomplishment that is very special because this is a very demanding league and very tough. And this league does such a special thing in celebrating these kids, and we so much appreciate being a part of it.
If there are questions directed to the players, please raise your hand. Let's start in the middle, in the second row.
Joe Healy, D1 Baseball. RJ, you and Jonathan both have won this thing twice now in your careers. What makes this a special place and a special tournament for your program?
Special because we get to come in here and, show our talents, get the best of the SEC. SEC is one of the best conferences in the country, and, it's going to be great games. And you got to learn how to play tournaments in order to get ready for the regional and the super regional, Omaha, stuff like that. So I think this tournament was a great start for us and just a great opportunity for us, and just glad we got to come out here with a big win.
On the second row.
Jacob Brennan with Baseball America. On that note, what does this tournament do to help you prepare for the tournament, next week, and how does it kind of get you in the right mindset for that?
I think it all starts with winning it. I think giving that confidence to this team. We've known for a while we've had the fibers to do it, and to actually accomplish it here today just shows what this team's capable of. And I think now that we've seen it, we got a trophy to our name. I think now we're aware that we could really do something special.
On the front row.
Jonathan, Matt Toppany from World Baseball Network. What does it mean to have Jacob and Brody step up in a big situation today, putting two out?
I think they've been doing that all year. Brody Johnson's a special kid. He's a freaking talent as a freshman, and then Hump has been steady in our lineup all year. He got banged up and he never changed who he was. He came back and he got back in the lineup and did his thing. That meant everything to us. The days where we're not exactly putting up 10, 12 runs, we still are able to, accomplish something cool with those guys. So, couldn't be more happy.
On the third row on the right.
Yeah, Aria Gerson, the Tennessean. RJ, you won SEC tournament MVP as a freshman. So now as a junior, seeing Brody Johnson and Austin Nye put up the performances they did, and Rustin Rigdon too, as freshmen, how does that make you feel, and how do you think that means for the future of the program?
Makes me super proud. I've seen these guys when they first came in. They're two freshmen. They didn't really talk as much, but as we got to know them, they're great kids, and they work pretty hard. They're great guys off the field. So just seeing them, accomplish, everything they wanted is just great. Austin Nye is very mature in what he does. Brody, when he's up to the plate, you couldn't tell that he's a freshman. So it's like having those two in our program for their next 3 to 4 years is a great accomplishment and great blessing. So the programs will be in great hands.
More questions for the players? If not, you're welcome to direct questions to Coach as well. Just raise your hand. Let's start in the middle.
Coach, I'd like to dig in on what you said a little bit about Austin with his tough start and then battling back to do what he did today. You said you and others weren't surprised. So tell me a little bit about what about him made it to where you weren't surprised what you saw from him today.
The recruitment of him, being a 14-year-old kid pitching for Team USA in a championship game, I think you start looking for kids that have had those experiences where they've got built-in competitiveness, and you can see it. You can see it in his face. When he came off the mound last week, I went right over to him right away because I know he was going to have a moment here for us, and I just feel very confident. I think RJ used the word upstairs. He's professional. He's a professional kid. He's mature beyond his years. He's 18 in age, but that's not how he reacts. It's the same every day. He's got good consistency to what he does. He's an honor roll student. You trust him, and I think when it gets right down to it, that's kind of our team. They trust one another to get things done, and Austin was certainly that kid today.
On the second row on the left.
What's it about Brody Johnson that's allowed him to be so successful this season and contribute the way that he has?
Well, he's talented. I mean, you can see the tools in whether it's arm or whether it's bat speed, strength, and he's still learning to play, and he will continue to learn. But I think what makes him a little bit different is the fact that he can control his heart rate and adrenaline inside of competition. He does a good job of that. He's got a fast memory, so if an at-bat doesn't go his way, he gets right back into the game. So I just think it's that. He's a mature kid on a baseball field that is still learning how to play.
On the front row on the left.
Tim, Matt Taverny from World Baseball Network. What does it mean to have guys that step up in the bullpen today, and how you utilized after Miller couldn't get the job done? Luke stepped up big, Levi stepped up big, and Sawyer stepped up big. What's it like to have depth in the bullpen and going into the tournament next week? Yeah,
and there's a bunch of names that you didn't mention that weren't in there today that have done the same thing. So it's a team effort on the mound. It really was. When Brownie and I spoke before Christmas break, and we both agreed on one thing, that our pitching staff was going to be a good staff, but it would be built upon a lot of different people. And I think from that time, Brownie's done an outstanding job with these kids. They've been so consistent on the mound, and Tyler Herb has helped him too. I don't want to leave him out because he's been great for Brownie. They've worked in concert with one another to do a good job for these kids. So, yeah, they've just been consistent. They've put us in a good spot, and because of that, they held the floor for a decent amount of time, and it allowed us to kind of catch up offensively because midseason, I knew we were going to come. I did offensively. I knew it at some point in time. But the pitching staff did a good job of just staying pretty consistent throughout the year.
On the third row on the right.
Yeah, Tim, on the subject of Brody, he was only struck out once this whole tournament and was getting into some more favorable counts compared to some other times this season. Was there, any adjustment that he made to kind of improve his approach there?
Well, I think people are careful on how they pitch him. I mean, they know if the ball's around the upper part of the strike zone or lower part of the strike zone. He does a good job of putting a good swing on it, but he's getting better. He's getting better with zone knowledge. I think if you asked him, that's what he wants to cut down on. But at the same time, there's a give and take with a kid like him because there's power in his bat. Sometimes the power swings, guys strike out a little bit. But you always know that he's going to return back to a moment. He's that kid, and as I said, he's just a mature kid on the field.
Right in the center.
Can you recall a tournament, whether it's this or a regional or what have you, where you've had a team defense not commit a single error the entire time you've been there?
I don't know what the stat line was in 19. We played more games, but no, this team can defend now with the best of them. I mean, they're one of the best defensive teams we've ever had at Vanderbilt. You look up the middle. The strength of your team typically is up the middle. This guy is the best shortstop. That guy is the best center fielder. The catcher does a hell of a job. Second baseman, we've been back and forth with second baseman, but Rigdon has done a very nice job controlling second base. He turned 2 outstanding double plays. But I think the hallmark of any team, particularly today, you get in championship baseball, you got to pitch and you got to play defense, and you can't give anything away. And what we didn't do this entire tournament was give anything away. We've always told the boys, solo home runs are not going to beat you. And even at the end, when Humphrey got off that swing, I just felt like, okay, we're fine. We're going to get through this. So it's been that. It's been pitching and defense all year.
On the fourth row on the right side.
Kevin Skarbinski with the SEC blog. Tim, now that you've been through it, what's your opinion of this new tournament format?
For me, it was kind of wait and see. I've never done it before, and the kids hadn't done it before, so I just wanted to see how it played out. The one thing is my concern at the meeting when we were talking about it was the crowds. The crowds were outstanding. I think for a team that finishes in the top 4, you're really doing yourself a favor because it sets up like a normal weekend moving forward and moving back. So that part for us was great. We got to play Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. It sure as hell beats practicing and training back home. 13,000 people, 14,000 people, you folks, the TV cameras, the temperature of the weather, the temperature of the games, that helps you moving forward. So these guys they've been a mature team, and they will handle this in the way that they need to handle it. They want to have fun in doing all of this, but we got a lot of baseball ahead of us, and we can't wait to play. But this tournament has been outstanding. Obviously, we won, so it's easy for me to say that right now. But I just feel like the games were. It's great to be here. There's not one day. They know how I feel about this tournament. I have a tremendous amount of gratitude for it. To think that we're in this conference and playing baseball at this level with people that care about watching you. There's not a conference tournament in the country that comes close to this. So we're fortunate. We're fortunate people.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time this week, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.